You are spending money every month on joint supplements, testosterone boosters, libido enhancers, and anti-inflammatory capsules, while something that costs $1 and has been used as medicine for 6,000 years has now been validated by modern clinical research to reduce joint inflammation, improve joint mobility, raise testosterone levels, restore physical drive, and address the exact hormonal and inflammatory dysfunction that causes both weak joints and low vitality to arrive together in people over 45, because they are driven by the same underlying biological process. People over 45 are managing joint pain in one doctor's office and low testosterone in another, spending money on two separate sets of solutions, while a $1 seed in the spice market addresses both simultaneously through mechanisms that modern research has now identified and confirmed. Today, I am going to show you exactly how to use it. But first, hold this question. If one seed can address both the joint pain that limits your movement and the low drive that limits your life, and it costs $1, what exactly have you been paying for all these years? I am Dr. Christine Rodriguez, and this is Men's Vitality Hub. This channel exists to give seniors like you affordable, authentic knowledge about your health so you can take care of yourself, manage every condition you face, and find the right guidance for your specific situation without spending more than you have to. Real biology, real solutions. No trends, no expensive products, just honest science that puts your health back in your own hands. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly why this video was made for your specific situation. 3 precise ways to use Methi seeds with exact steps and timing. 2 powerful additional benefits that matter deeply for people over 45. One surprising fact about Methi that will completely change how you think about this seed, and the science that explains why everything works. Every single section of this video matters for your joint health and your vitality. Do not skip anything and do not do this halfway. Doing this correctly and completely is what produces the result. Half measures give half results. Stay for all of it. Now, I want to make sure you are watching the right video, because this is not a general health video. This is specifically for a certain kind of person. If your joints have been getting stiffer, more painful, and less cooperative every year since your mid-40s, this video is for you. If the drive and energy that used to feel like a natural part of who you are has been quietly fading, the motivation, the physical confidence, the vitality that made you feel capable and engaged, this video is for you. If you have noticed that your physical strength and stamina have been declining and your body is taking longer to recover from any kind of exertion, this video is for you. If your sleep has become lighter and less restorative, and your mood has become less stable, this video is for you. If you are living with both joint pain and low energy simultaneously and have been treating them as 2 separate problems, this video is especially for you because they are not 2 separate problems. They are 2 symptoms of the same underlying biological process, and Methi seeds address that process at its root. Here's the commitment I am making to you today. Follow the 3 methods I am going to give you with complete consistency for 7 days. Just 7 days. And here's what that week looks like. By day 2 or 3, the morning joint stiffness that has been greeting you every day begins to loosen faster. The inflammatory compounds in Methi seeds begin reducing the overnight cytokine accumulation that produces the joint tightness you feel before your feet hit the floor. By day 4 or 5, energy levels begin improving. The saponins in Methi seeds begin supporting the hormonal environment that drives physical vitality and drive. By day 6 or 7, the combination of reduced joint inflammation and improving hormonal balance begins producing the kind of physical ease and motivation that most people following this protocol describe as feeling more like themselves again. 7 days, starting tonight. One more thing before the methods. Right now, before the science, before the methods, make one decision. You are going to buy a packet of Methi seeds today, also called fenugreek seeds. You will find them in any spice market, any grocery store with a spice section, any health food store. A packet that will last you weeks costs $1 or less. You are going to soak the seeds tonight for the first method tomorrow morning. That is the only action required tonight. Soaking seeds in water before you sleep. One decision, $1, one handful of seeds in water tonight. The people who feel the results at day 7 always begin on day 1. And understand this clearly before the methods. The joint pain and low drive you are experiencing after 45 are not two separate problems requiring two separate solutions. They share a common biological driver, the chronic, low-grade inflammation that rises with age, driven by the same inflammatory cytokines that simultaneously degrade joint cartilage and suppress the hormonal production axis that generates testosterone and physical vitality. When you reduce this shared inflammatory driver, which Methi seeds do through multiple simultaneous mechanisms, both the joint pain and the low drive respond together. This is why the research on fenugreek documents both anti-inflammatory effects on joint tissue and measurable improvements in testosterone and libido in the same populations. Same seed, same mechanisms. Two problems resolved through the same biological intervention. So let me show you exactly how to use Methi seeds, step by step, precise quantities, exact timing. Because the preparation method for Methi seeds matters enormously. Soaked seeds, roasted seeds, and powdered seeds all deliver different compound profiles with different bioavailability characteristics, and the 3 methods together give you the complete therapeutic profile across the full day. The first method is overnight soaked Methi seeds taken on an empty stomach every morning. This is the foundational daily method, the one that delivers Methi's most bioavailable compound form directly into your system before anything competes for absorption, and the one that produces the most consistent and rapid results for both joint inflammation and hormonal support. Here is exactly how to prepare it. Every night before bed, take 1 level teaspoon of whole Methi seeds and place them in a small glass. Cover completely with room temperature water, enough water to submerge the seeds with additional water above them as they will absorb water and swell overnight. Leave on your counter overnight, a minimum of 8 hours of soaking. In the morning, on a completely empty stomach, do not drain the water. Drink the entire contents of the glass, soaking water and swollen seeds together. Chew the soaked seeds thoroughly before swallowing. They will be softened and slightly mucilaginous from the overnight soaking. Follow with 1 additional glass of warm water. Do not eat anything for 30 minutes after consuming the soaked seeds. The overnight soaking is critical for 2 reasons. First, it breaks down the phytic acid in the seeds, the anti-nutrient that binds to minerals and prevents their absorption, dramatically increasing the bioavailability of the zinc, magnesium, and iron the seeds contain. Second, it releases the galactomannan fiber from within the seed into the soaking water. And this galactomannan is one of the most potent natural blood sugar stabilizers and hormone-supporting fibers identified in research. Drinking the soaking water is not optional. It contains the dissolved galactomannan that is responsible for a significant portion of Methi's hormonal and metabolic benefits. 1 teaspoon of Methi seeds soaked overnight, consumed with the soaking water, on an empty stomach, every morning. The second method is Methi seed powder in warm milk every night. This method delivers Methi's steroidal saponins, the compounds most directly responsible for Methi's testosterone-supporting and joint anti-inflammatory effects, in the highest concentration form at the overnight window when the body's hormonal production and joint repair processes are most active. Here is exactly how to prepare it. Take 1 full teaspoon of whole methi seeds and dry roast them in a small pan over low heat for 3 to 4 minutes, stirring continuously until they turn golden and release a warm, nutty aroma. Remove from heat and allow to cool completely. Grind the roasted seeds into a fine powder using a small grinder or mortar and pestle. This roasting and grinding step is essential. It breaks down the seed's cell walls and releases the saponin compounds from the cellular matrix, dramatically increasing their bioavailability compared to consuming whole seeds. Take 1 full glass of warm, whole milk. Add half a teaspoon of this roasted methi powder. Not a full teaspoon, as roasted methi has a concentrated, slightly bitter flavor that is most palatable at half a teaspoon in milk. Add 1 teaspoon of raw honey. Stir thoroughly for 30 seconds until fully combined. Drink this slowly, 30 minutes before bed. The fat in the whole milk enhances the absorption of methi's fat-soluble saponin compounds. The warmth supports the nervous system transition towards sleep. And the overnight timing means the steroidal saponins are circulating during the deep sleep stages when testosterone production is peaking and joint tissue repair is most actively occurring. Half teaspoon roasted ground methi, 1 teaspoon honey, 1 glass warm whole milk, every night, 30 minutes before bed. The third method is methi seed cooking, adding seeds directly to your daily main meal. This method builds a consistent daily baseline of methi compounds in your system through food, ensuring that even on days when routine is disrupted and the other 2 methods are difficult to maintain, the therapeutic daily intake of methi's saponins, fiber, and anti-inflammatory compounds continues through the most natural delivery vehicle available. Here is exactly how to use it. Take half a teaspoon of whole methi seeds and add them to the tempering oil at the beginning of cooking your dal, your curry, your vegetable dish, or any savory preparation. The brief high-heat contact during tempering, dropping the seeds into hot oil for 30 to 60 seconds before adding other ingredients, triggers a slight toasting effect that opens the seed's cell walls and enhances the release of its flavor and therapeutic compounds into the dish. Methi seeds have a slightly bitter, maple-like flavor that complements savory cooking naturally and becomes less bitter when cooked with other ingredients. Half a teaspoon of methi seeds tempered into your main meal, every day. This method requires no separate preparation, no extra time, and costs almost nothing per serving, making it the easiest method to sustain indefinitely as a permanent daily cooking habit that quietly builds your body's methi compound levels day after day. Now beyond joints and drive, because methi does 2 other deeply significant things for people over 45 that are worth knowing while you are already using it daily. The first additional benefit is powerful blood sugar and insulin sensitivity support. Methi seeds contain galactomannan, a soluble fiber that slows glucose absorption from the small intestine, and the amino acid 4-hydroxyisoleucine, which has been shown in research to directly stimulate insulin secretion from pancreatic beta cells and improve peripheral insulin sensitivity. A meta-analysis published in the Journal of Diabetes and Metabolic Disorders found that fenugreek seed supplementation produced significant reductions in fasting blood glucose and HbA1c in people with type 2 diabetes and prediabetes. For people over 45 whose blood sugar has been trending upward, and the majority of people in this age group show some degree of insulin resistance, the blood sugar management benefit of daily methi use compounds significantly over weeks and months of consistent use, simultaneously addressing the insulin resistance that worsens joint inflammation and suppresses testosterone production. The second additional benefit is meaningful support for hair health and prevention of the accelerated hair thinning that affects many people over 45. Methi seeds contain lecithin, a fatty compound that nourishes hair follicles, and protein compounds that directly strengthen the hair shaft structure. Research has documented that regular Methi seed consumption and topical application reduces hair fall and improves hair density in people experiencing age-related thinning. The same hormonal improvement from Methi's testosterone-supporting saponins also contributes to hair follicle health, because adequate testosterone supports the hair growth cycle at the follicular level. For people over 45 who have noticed their hair becoming thinner, more fragile, or falling more heavily, the hair health benefit of daily Methi use represents a meaningful additional return from the same $1 daily protocol. And here is the one surprising fact about Methi seeds that is going to completely change how you think about this seed and why it works so specifically for both joint health and hormonal vitality. Methi seeds contain a class of compounds called steroidal saponins, specifically diosgenin, tygogenin, and yamogenin, that are structurally similar to the steroid hormones produced in the human body, including testosterone and the anti-inflammatory steroids that regulate joint inflammation. These steroidal saponins do not function as hormones directly. They are not plant testosterone, but they interact with the body's hormonal receptor systems and enzymatic pathways in ways that support endogenous hormone production. Diosgenin specifically has been shown to inhibit the enzyme 5-alpha reductase, the enzyme that converts testosterone into DHT, and to inhibit aromatase activity that converts testosterone into estrogen, effectively protecting the free testosterone that is produced from being converted away. Simultaneously, the same saponin compounds inhibit the COX-2 and 5-LOX inflammatory enzymes that drive joint pain, the same pathways that ibuprofen and prescription anti-inflammatories target, but through a gentler, compound mechanism that does not carry NSAID side effects. One seed, hormonal protection and joint anti-inflammation, through the same class of compounds. This is why joint pain and low drive respond to Methi together, because the steroidal saponins address the shared inflammatory and hormonal biology driving both simultaneously. Now let me explain exactly why joint weakness and low drive arrive together after 45, and why Methi addresses that shared process at its biological root. After 45, the body's production of anti-inflammatory steroid hormones, cortisol, DHEA, and the sex hormones begins to decline. This shared hormonal decline has consequences in two directions simultaneously. In joint tissue, the declining anti-inflammatory hormonal environment allows NF-kappa B-driven inflammation to escalate unchecked. Inflammatory cytokines accelerate cartilage degradation, thicken synovial fluid, and drive the persistent joint pain and stiffness that becomes the daily reality of aging joints. In the hormonal system, the declining testosterone and DHEA reduce the anabolic drive, the physical energy, the motivation, and the libido that these hormones support, while rising aromatase activity converts the remaining testosterone into estrogen, further reducing free testosterone availability. Methi seeds address both directions of this shared decline simultaneously. Their steroidal saponins support the enzymatic environment for testosterone production, protect free testosterone from conversion, and provide the COX-2 and 5-LOX inhibition that reduces joint inflammation. Their galactomannan fiber stabilizes blood sugar and reduces the insulin resistance that directly worsens both testosterone suppression and joint inflammation. Their antioxidant compounds, flavonoids, phenolic acids, reduce the oxidative stress in both testicular tissue and joint tissue that accelerates dysfunction in both locations. A randomized controlled trial published in the journal Phytotherapy Research found that fenugreek seed extract supplementation produced significant improvements in testosterone levels, sexual function scores, and energy levels in subjects over 45 after 8 weeks of consistent use. Another study in the International Journal of Sport Nutrition and Exercise Metabolism documented significant reductions in joint pain scores and inflammatory markers in subjects receiving fenugreek supplementation over the same period. 2 outcomes, 1 seed, 8 weeks. Clinically measured results. The magnitude of these results is worth understanding clearly. The phytotherapy research trial found testosterone improvements in the range of 12 to 17% in subjects following the consistent fenugreek protocol. A clinically meaningful increase that moved participants from the lower end of the normal range toward mid-range levels, with accompanying improvements in energy, mood, sexual function, and physical performance that reflected the hormonal improvement. The joint inflammation reduction documented in the International Journal of Sport Nutrition study was equally significant. Subjects reported a 25 to 30% reduction in joint pain scores after 8 weeks, with measurable reductions in the inflammatory markers CRP and interleukin-6 in blood tests. For a seed that costs $1 for a month's supply, these are extraordinary clinical outcomes, and they were produced by the same simple daily protocol that begins tonight, with 1 teaspoon of seeds soaking in a glass of water. Remember the question from the beginning. If 1 seed can address both the joint pain that limits your movement and the low drive that limits your life, and it costs $1, what exactly have you been paying for all these years? Now you have the answer. You have been paying for solutions that address symptoms without understanding that those symptoms share a biological origin. Joint supplements that do not address testosterone. Testosterone boosters that do not address joint inflammation. 2 expensive approaches to the same underlying problem. Methi seeds address the shared inflammatory and hormonal biology at the root for $1, because the steroidal saponins that protect testosterone and the anti-inflammatory compounds that protect your joints are the same compounds in the same seed. Here's what you learned today. Weak joints and low drive after 45 share a common biological driver, the same inflammatory and hormonal decline that degrades joint cartilage and suppresses testosterone simultaneously. Methi's steroidal saponins inhibit aromatase and 5-alpha reductase to protect free testosterone, and inhibit COX-2 and 5-LOX to reduce joint inflammation, through the same compounds in the same daily dose. 3 methods deliver these compounds across your full day. Overnight soaked seeds on empty stomach for maximum mineral bioavailability. Roasted powder in warm milk before bed for steroidal saponin delivery during hormonal peak hours. And whole seeds in daily cooking for consistent baseline intake. $1. 3 methods. 7 days to feel the change. 8 weeks to clinically measure it. If this video gave you a real, practical, affordable solution for both joint pain and low vitality you have been managing expensively and separately, please hit that like button right now and subscribe to Men's Vitality Hub. Every week, honest science, practical protocols, affordable solutions for people who are serious about their health after 45. Tell me in the comments, which bothers you more right now? Your joint pain or your energy and drive? Drop your honest answer below, because your experience might help another person over 45 realize that 2 problems they have been treating separately are actually 1 problem with 1 solution. Thank you for watching. $1, 1 seed. 2 problems that have been limiting your life every single day. 1 biological solution that addresses both simultaneously. Tonight, right after this video ends, is your first step. Soak the seeds. I will see you in the next one.